Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. And in this one, this is just eating me up, and I really got to talk about this. So let's just get right into it. So for those that don't know, I've been attending a Bible study group every week for the last few months now. And last week, something was brought up in the group discussion by another member. Actually, the person that started the whole group was the person who actually brought this up. He claimed that we shouldn't listen to modern music because it's bad. There's a lot of bad stuff in this modern music, right? And 3 days later, I come across a news article by USA Today titled, "Sadly, Largely True. Ex-Newsboy singer speaks on sexual assault allegations." So let's get right into this, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on this whole thing. Okay, so Michael Tait, former lead singer of Christian rock band Newsboys, has admitted to wrongdoing after allegations of sexual assault surfaced. Tait, who's 59 years old, took to social media on June 10th to share his side of the story, telling fans in a statement titled "My Confession" that a recent report detailing his drug and alcohol abuse and sexual activity are, quote, "sadly, largely true. For some 2 decades, I used and abused cocaine, consumed far too much alcohol, and, at times, touched men in an unwanted, sensational way." Okay, so let's stop right there, and just to clear the air on this, it's not that he was touching men in an unwanted, sensational way. He was touching little boys in an unwanted way, okay? Just wanted to make that abundantly clear. One of the people who came out and spoke out about this guy was 13 years old when it happened. But I digress. "I am ashamed of my life choices and actions, and make no excuses for them," he wrote. "I will simply call it what God calls it, sin." And you know what? You want to know the best part about this whole story? There are people actually defending this guy. Oh yeah, no, there are people who are trying to like downplay the situation. And to make things even better, there are many of the group members, they knew about this shit. They knew about what was going on and were actively covering this up. Why? Because their brand image is more important than keeping minors safe, apparently. And there are people saying that, well, we're all sinners, we all make mistakes. No, 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 no. You don't get to do that, okay? A mistake is when I step into the grass and, end up stepping in a pile of dog shit, okay? Mistake is forgetting to put something away that I left on the counter. A mistake is not sexually abusing little kids for 20 fucking years. It's not the same thing. This isn't a mistake. This is a calculated criminal with malice intent. He knew what the fuck he was doing. This isn't like a one-night thing, okay? This is not a mistake. I digress. Let's continue. You can see I'm fired up with this, okay, because this is just disgusting shit, and nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody in the church or anything like that. Of course they're not going to talk about this because it's going to make them look bad. You know what the church is? I'll tell you what the church is. The church is capitalism with a Jesus costume on. That's what the fucking church is. The church is more of a cult than a religion. You ever want to know why I make fun of the church at times? It's this kind of shit that's the reason why. Because what kind of organization will tell you that you need to live your life a certain type of way and then give them money? That's what a fucking cult is. So let's continue. Tait's admission comes nearly a week after his bandmates released their own statement addressing the allegations highlighted in a years-long investigation by Christian media outlet The Roy's Report. 3 men, who were all 22 at the time of their encounters, told the outlet that Tait befriended them and later engaged in non-consensual sexual acts with them. Tait made friends with the men while on tour in 2004, 2010, and 2014, according to The Roy's Report. "Last night, our hearts were shattered when we read the news alleging drug abuse and inappropriate sexual actions by our former lead singer, Michael Tait." Oh yeah, they're just devastated by this. That's why they were covering it up for so long. They were shocked when this came out. The Nashville-based band shared in a June 5th statement, "While Michael has not addressed these allegations, we are devastated even by the implications." The statement continued, "First and foremost, our hearts are with the victims, who have bravely shared their stories. If you are a victim, we urge you to come forward. We absolutely do not condone any form of sexual assault. Now they don't condone it. Now that it's out in the open, now they don't condone it. Tait was the former lead singer of Australian-formed Christian rock band Newsboys. The four-time Grammy Award-winning vocalist replaced original member Peter Foiler as the group's new lead vocalist in 2009. Tait officially left the group in January 2025 after 15 years. Before he performed with Newsboys, Tait was a founding member of DC Talks, a Christian rap and rock trio that released 5 major studio albums together. And this is kind of why I wanted to talk about this, okay? I'm being told that I shouldn't listen to modern day music because it's got bad stuff in it. Meanwhile, some of the major Christian rock, rap, whatever kind of music, they're doing some of the worst shit you can do. Some of the most horrendous crimes that you can commit are being done by these, holier than thou preach, these rock preachers or whatever you want to call them. All these singers, they're just as bad as all the other ones, if not worse. And it's the hypocrisy that gets me the most, It's the idea that they're using their influence and their trust. They're building up this trust, and then they're abusing that influence and that trust that they've built up to do this horrendous kind of shit. And everybody's complacent in it. If it were up to me, the whole damn band would be arrested, because you're all accomplices as far as I see it. You're all just as guilty as he is because none of you said shit. You were all complacent in it. Now that it's all public, now you're like, oh yeah, we don't condone that. They fucking knew about this shit. Tait's bandmates were horrified, heartbroken, and angry to learn of the accusations made in the report, writing in the statement that they felt as though they and their families were deceived for the last 15 years. The 4 of us are husbands and fathers. Between the 4 of us, we have 14 children. I don't really care what they have to say. I'm just moving on here. So it says, Tait, who said he does not blame anyone or anything besides himself, said he left Newsboys earlier this year to get help, he says. To get help is what it says. So, I'll tell you how he can get help. He can get behind a fucking prison cell. That's how he can get help. Because people like this, they don't ever change. I don't know what else to say. It's just the more I learn about what goes on, the hypocrisy of the church and the hypocrisy of a lot of these Christian groups. Look, where's the help for his victims? The abuser, he's the one that needs to get some mental help, right? He's the one that needs to get some help for this, right? Yeah, he needs help. What about his victims? Where's their help? Where's all the help that they need? All these people who were emotionally, mentally, and spiritually traumatized by this guy. Where can they get help? I don't know what else to say about this, man. The more I learn about all these different church groups and these big shot E-Celebs, the less I want anything to do with them. But at the very least, at least with all this other music and stuff that I'm listening to, at least they're not pretending to be somebody they're not. That's all I got to say about this. I'm just going to close it with this. You don't need to be part of a church, in order to have a relationship with God. A relationship with God should be between you and God, not you, God, and some random group of people that request money every fucking week and preach your ear off while groping little boys. I don't trust the church. I don't trust the establishments. I don't trust it because it's just capitalism in a Jesus costume. And that should be becoming more and more obvious as time goes on. That it's never really about what they don't practice what they preach a lot of the time. There's so many fake Christians. There's so much hypocrisy in the movement, and it's just disgusting. It's absolutely fucking disgusting behavior. And a lot of people cover it up because, like I said, to them, the brand is more important than actually protecting people. And that's just the way it is. capitalism. So that's all I got for this video. You guys take care, and I just needed to get this off my chest. You have a good one.